Alrighty folks, welcome. I've been meaning to do a video on this for quite a while, and I have finally gotten to it. So, today we're going to look at this Tomica Limited Vintage Neo, and it's the Nissan Skyline 25 GT Turbo. I believe this color is Bayside blue. I don't know if it actually says the color anywhere. It might say it in Japanese somewhere. It does have a little blue circle there, but yeah, this is the one that comes with the extra parts, which I believe are just like some different factory options that Nissan had available for the 25 GTT. So honestly, very cool product. So here's the front. I Google translated the little captions underneath each car. So this one said normal specification, and then I think this one said factory options or something similar. But yeah, it's 1/64 scale, Tomica, of course. There's this side of the box. This is LVN 353B. So I think they also had a silver one of this, which I believe would be A. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I think these kind of products are neat, and I realized when this came out that I do not have a non-GTR R34 in my collection. So that's also another reason why I grabbed this, was because I thought that'd be kind of cool to have. And so I don't really have anything to directly compare this to. Nissan licensing right there. But I did pull out this this Mini GT Bayside Blue R34 GTR. This is a 1999 GTR. So we can at least compare the paint and maybe a little bit of the scaling. But yeah, let's go ahead and open it. I'm going to try not to rip the box. I hate these tabs that they use. They are so hard to get out without ripping. Okay, there we go. There's that. Should just be a big tray in here. Yep. So there's that. Empty box. And then the tray, there's this right here. I don't know what this is for. I have no idea. I might Google Translate that later. But anyways, I did think that some of the text on the back of the box was kind of funny and kind of cool. We'll show that real quick. This little paragraph right here. Please enjoy the reassembly process as if you were the owner of the actual car. And then it kind of tells you what's included. So for the front bumper, it has a stock option and a factory option. Then for rear bumper, a stock and factory option, and then the spoiler has a stock and factory option as well. Only one car body is included. During reassembly, exercise caution to avoid causing damage to any components. So there is that. And here are all the parts. There's actually quite a bit of them in there. Again, 2 front bumpers, 2 rear bumpers, and 2 bonnets. Or not bonnets, 2 wings, 2 rear hatches. What do they call them? Rear spoilers. They just call them rear spoilers, even though it's like the whole like trunk area. Anyways, I guess the word I was looking for was the boot. So there's the car. It just kind of sits in this very soft, like waxy plastic, and then all the other parts, I think we can just go ahead and dump them out. I don't really know which is which. I don't think they don't have them labeled or anything. I think we can kind of look at the 2 photos on the front of the box. This is the normal one there, and then that's the one on the right is the one with the factory options. So here's all these parts. I think they are mostly metal, which is pretty cool. So, okay, so the bumpers, I believe, are plastic. Yeah, the bumpers, the front and rear bumpers feel like plastic to me, but these rear spoilers are metal, and then it looks like the actual, well, the top of the trunk area right here is, and down on this little side are metal, and then the actual spoiler is plastic, and it's actually held on with screws, which is surprising. I figured those would just be glued in like little pegs. So there's that. Here is the car. We'll take a quick look at it without any of the parts on it. So the paint looks really, really nice. And off the first glance, I'm not seeing any paint rash or anything, which is a good thing. Tomica is pretty bad about paint rash. I got a red 2000 GTR that has paint rash on it, and I'm debating not keeping it because of that. But anyways, the paint looks really good on this. It's got a really nice, very small and fine like speck in there, like metal flake. And to compare with the Mini GT, because like I said, I do believe these are the same paints, the Mini GT is definitely a bit lighter in color. Again, I don't really know if one is more accurate than the other. I just kind of want to show that off. I do kind of like the little bit darker color of the Tomica though. And this one does have brake details. So it's got the rotor and the caliper in there. The wheels do seem to spin quite well. We'll do a quick roll test. Scoot all these parts out of the way. There's the roll test. Rolls very smoothly. In fact, yeah, it rolls smoother than the Mini GT actually. That is very nice. So rolls smoothly, it's got brake details. The wheels actually do look very nice in my opinion. They do have a little bit of text on them. What does that say? Does that just say Nismo? I think that might just say Nismo on it in blue. Or maybe Nissan. A little bit hard to tell. No, that doesn't say. I cannot tell. That is way too small. But that is there. I like the center locks look pretty good. I believe those are center locks. So wheels, very nice. The tires are, they're not super blocky. Tread looks good on them. Overall, very nice. And then, yeah, it's just a very nice casting. There's not really any color on the interior except for the steering wheel is done in silver. The actual wheel part of the steering wheel is silver. Oh, it does have some color in there. And then the seats are like a two-tone black and gray in the front and the back seats. So that is actually pretty nice. Do like to see interior color. I kind of thought I thought the silver parts was the light reflecting off of them, but nope. I missaw that. So that is nice. Good interior. This one has mirrors, and it looks like they've got a little bit of a silver paint in them, which is totally fine with me. I do not like the models that Tomica does that don't have mirrors. To me, that's eh. Yeah, they look pretty good. No defroster lines on the back like the Mini GT has, but I think that's fine. I'm not going to nitpick that. And yeah, then it's got a bunch of gaping holes on the back and on the top. And at the front, it looks like it's got two little slots at either side. But there's the intercooler. It does look like it has the fan on it as well. That might just be the radiator, actually. That might just be the radiator fan. It could be an intercooler, though, because this is a turbo car. And the headlights, to me, actually do look really nice. So it looks like the housing is black, but then they've got, it has two individual, headlight details on each side. Much better than the Mini GTs. And again, this is not the same car, so we're kind of comparing apples to oranges, but I would imagine the headlights between the GTR and the GTT were pretty much the same, and the Tomica looks way better than the Mini GT in my opinion. But we'll see how it looks once we get the bumpers on too. And also, this one does have a metal base. It is not, it does not have screws, so you're not going to be able to take this apart. It is held in with rivets. And then the silver exhaust back here as well looks pretty nice. Tells you what it is. Very good. I'm liking this so far. So, yeah, let's go ahead and throw some of these parts on because I think that's kind of like the main gimmick of this. So let's try to do the stock version first. So the stock version has this wing. So I'm curious to see how well these parts stay in. I don't want to break anything. Okay, I think that's in about as far as it'll go. So there's the rear. I don't know which rear bumper is the stock version. So this one says Skyline in red. It's got like some of the grill right there at the bottom. And then where's the other one? Here's the other one right here. This one does look more plain to me, so I'm assuming this is probably the stock option. I could be wrong on that, but get that lined up and push it in. Okay, there's that. Now let's do the front one. The factory option had the red Skyline badge. I think this one has a gray one. Yeah, so this is the stock bumper right here. So again, just line that up and push it in. Okay, so here's the stock version. The stock version of the Skyline 25 GTT. And again, this is a 2000 year. So here's the front. Actually, pretty nice details on this front bumper piece. It's just got the plain license plate, which I think is fine. Again, the silver S badge for Skyline. Front grille looks pretty good. All this space in here and these vents look pretty good as well. Looks like you've got some either fog lights or turn indicators down here, done in like a gray color. So that looks pretty good. And with the bumper on, the headlights still do look really nice, actually. Again, I think much better than the Mini GT. The Mini GTs were always cloudy, and like it had some detail behind there, but you can't really see anything. It looks like it's kind of sectioned off a little bit, but these, you can actually see the round bulbs in there. Very nice in my opinion. So there's the front, and here's the back. Let's check out the taillights. They are acrylic again, and they actually look really good. The inside ones have a little orange dot in the center. I'm assuming that's for the rear turn signals. But yeah, the acrylic is a very nice, like rich red. It's got the texture for the center dot on the outer lights, and then the orange. It looks really good actually. Skyline printed onto the back. I know Mini GT embosses it into theirs, but I actually don't know if that would be accurate to scale. And like, again, there's really no point in comparing these, but yeah, the Skyline text looks really nice. The Nissan logo is there. Don't know how legible it is, but then the 25 GTT logo on the side looks pretty good as well. Again, blank license plate. I like how the bumper kind of accommodates for that exhaust as well. It looks pretty good. Yeah, rear bumper looks really good. So does the wing. They all these parts seem to be color matched very nicely to the body of the car too. Like if you handed this to me, I probably would not be able to tell right away that it had separate parts. The one thing that does kind of give it away, at least on this particular one, and it could just be my example. I'm trying to avoid pushing down on the plastic wing, but this rear hatch part is seated in those holes all the way. There is a pretty big gap all the way around it. It's not super bad up here, and you could argue that's pretty damn good as far as 164 panel gap goes, but this whole backside where it comes down and over and back up that's a pretty big gap, and I don't know if there's any way to get it to go down more flush. I don't know if maybe there's like a little piece of extra paint or something that's keeping it. Actually, there might be. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of like a paint blob right here. And that looks like it definitely could be keeping it pushed up. So I'm actually going to grab a razor blade and very carefully see if I can kind of scrape some of that off of there. So let's do that. Oh, so it's already coming off. Just try to get as much off as we can, see if I can get it seated down a little bit better so that panel gap isn't as bad. I think I pretty much got most of it now. There might be a little bit of a metal burr right there from the casting process for this. That looks pretty smooth to me now. I think I got rid of most of it. There might be a little bit of a metal burr still left right there. Let's see if I can get a little bit more of it. I think that's about as good as we're going to get. Oh, it might get a little bit more right there. All right, let's try that. Let's see if that helped fix that panel gap issue. So we'll pop it back in. And I don't think so. Now it does kind of teeter a little bit too. But if you just set it in there, kind of push it down, let it go flat. Yeah, that might have actually fixed, that actually might have made it better. I think it did. I think so anyways. I mean, you can go back a minute and see, but I think that actually looks better. And the panel gap now between all of the parts doesn't look too bad to me at all. So that is very cool. But let's remove these parts. And obviously with these, you've got two bumpers, front and back, and then two rear wings. So you can mix and match if you would like. Like if you were to get this, you could put any combination of these together, I believe, and I think it would all work. The front bumper, obviously, that doesn't, that's obviously not going to interfere with anything, but I think both of the back bumpers will work with both of the rear spoilers. But let's see. So let's get the second front bumper on. And these parts do seem to stay on pretty well, except for that rear wing is a little bit loose. So there's this front grille. Looks very nice. Again, the white license plate, but this one has a lot more like actual mesh venting up there, and then the bigger lights on either side, which actually looks very nice. It looks more similar to a GTR than the other one did. Obviously, nowhere near the same. Man, why does the Mini GT look so much taller? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know the dimensions. I know if anything is going to be more accurate scale-wise, it's going to be Tomica, though. Anyways, here's the back bumper going in. Just kind of push it in. I think that's seated pretty well. And let's get the other wing. I believe it was this one right here. So let's see if we can get that one seated down. Yeah, that's not bad. There still is a bit of a noticeable panel gap on the back right here, but it's a little bit better with this one, at least before I cut that little burr off of the other one. But that looks really nice. I like this wing style. It's not a wing style that I think I've seen before, because the GTRs usually always have this style of wing. This is actually really cool. I kind of like how it comes up a little bit far, like each side of the wing kind of all just flows together back to it. It looks really nice. And then Skyline badge in red. A little bit more mesh venting down here compared to the other one. There's a good side-by-side right there. The taillights do look the same to me, and they look really good on this. Oh, I guess the taillights wouldn't be part of the bumper, would they? Fucking idiot. Anyways, yeah, 25 GTT badge again. Nissan badge looks good on this one as well. It's got the, I believe that would be the little key slot for the trunk. Did the other one have that too? Yeah, it did. They had it in the same spot. Yeah, that is very cool. Exhaust comes through the back bumper again quite nicely. And then again, front bumper. Yeah, this is neat. I really like this. So now I have bought one model, but I have two versions of the 25 GTT, which I think is pretty cool for the money. I think I paid, actually I don't remember what I paid. I don't think it was super expensive. I think I paid around $20 for this one, $20 USD. It might have been a little bit more, maybe like 22, depending on if you factor in shipping, but it really wasn't that expensive. I did order this one from Tokyo Station, I believe, and it's very nice. There's also some cool venting up here on the side of that front bumper too that I didn't catch earlier. That is pretty neat. Yeah, this is really cool. This is really cool, actually. And the way they have done the parts, it actually works pretty well. There's not any like super obnoxious panel gaps. It all works pretty well together. And then I'm assuming that I could take this wing off and put the other one on with this bumper. Yep, sure can. And vice versa. So yeah, you can do quite a few different combinations of this car if you wanted to. I think it would have been cool if they would have given us one more top right here that didn't have a wing on it, because I think there was a version of this. Maybe it wasn't a 25 GTT though. Maybe it was the non-turbo that didn't have the that didn't come with the rear wing. I know there's one version of the R34 Skyline that didn't have a wing though, and that one would have been pretty cool too. Just to put it on and it's just flat back here, that would have been pretty nice. But yeah, this is really cool. This is neat. This is the kind of stuff that I've really been enjoying lately. Like I got the motor helix one that you could assemble. I've really been enjoying like opening parts and cool gimmicks like this, and so this is definitely really cool in my opinion, and quite nicely done too. Like it's very nicely detailed. I know Tomica typically is, but yeah, it's very nice for the price. I like the swappable parts. It's really neat when companies do that kind of stuff, so I am definitely pleased with it for sure. So anyways, I know some of you guys have been waiting for more Tomica, so it is coming. Do not worry. But yeah, I enjoy this one. And I think any Nissan or Skyline collector would as well. Definitely recommend it. Either color, honestly. You could get the silver one. I bet it would be just as good. But Bayside Blue is just so iconic for these R34s. Iconic color. And I think they did a good job. But anyways, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll catch you in the next one.